Hello friends, and welcome to another East German military stuff video. It's been a while since the last video, but hopefully this autumn and winter I can provide some more content you on this channel. But anyway, today I have another Flächentarn, or Blumentarn as it's also called, camouflaged item. In the previous video I already covered the magazine pouches for the AK-47, so go look that video after this one if you haven't seen it. But yeah, the East German military, or NVA, adopted the Flächentarn camouflage in about 1957, or that's when the first uniforms in Flächentarn were produced, and so it made sense that they also then start to produce some field gear, field equipment in the same camouflage. But this camouflage gas mask bag only came into production in 1963, and then it was produced probably about 5 years, but yeah, we'll get to that a bit more later. And there are at least 3 different known variants of this bag or pouch, and this one here, it is the last variant, and also going to that a bit later on. But yeah, maybe let's just go over this specific bag here, like some of its details. And as you have probably already noticed, it's missing the front wooden toggle here, which is supposed to be like this one here on the side pouch. So it's just a wooden toggle here, which you use to close the flap in the front. You can just see this small mark here where the toggle used to be, and yeah, it's just been torn off at some point during this pouch's what is like almost 60 years life at this point. Actually, at the moment, if you go to German eBay, where I got this pouch as well about 10 years ago now, about more than 10 years ago now, if you go there now, you will find two separate pouches where in both of them the wooden toggle has been replaced by a button, and it was also common, or you can see period photographs where soldiers have sewn on a replacement buttons here because the wooden toggle kept getting off and falling off. This pouch, as I think I already mentioned, came into production in about 1963. Before this, the NVA had this olive color gas mask pouches, sort of similar vibe as the Soviet one. And this is actually one of my favorite items in my collection, and I will definitely do a video on this one later. But yeah, just a small teaser there. So yeah, that one which I just showed was produced in perhaps late 50s and early 60s, and then in 1963 they started to produce this pouch. And there is only one stamp that's sort of legible here. It is here, and it seems to be 61, but this is definitely not a 1961 produced pouch, because there are actually the inside compartment walls have been made from Flächentarn camouflage, which is quite confusing. Like, why would they do that? This is just my hypothesis, or like speculation, but you can also see there at the bottom, hopefully you can see if I get some light. Also the bottom piece there is made from Flächentarn material. But yeah, these are actually a bit different colors of Flächentarn, and perhaps at the factory they had like leftover pieces of Flächentarn camouflage material, and then they just used them to create these compartments, since it didn't really matter what they were using. And this Flächentarn material also helps us date this pouch, because this is actually the second pattern of Flächentarn camouflage. In 1965 the NVA adopted the Flächentarn camouflage, but the initial camouflage variant was on a very pale or beige fabric, and these raindrops were more narrower and perhaps a bit longer. But that camouflage variant was produced only less than 2 years really, since they started to produce it in 1965, and already in late 1966 they switched to this variant, which has darker background color and more thicker raindrops. And this pouch has only the latter variant of Flächentarn camouflage, so meaning that this pouch was produced in the earliest late 1966, but I would probably guess more likely 1967 or later. So yeah, but yeah, I was talking about the variants. So there is a variant of this where these compartments are made from Flächentarn camouflage, and that one is the that is the more rarer variant. But then there are also the very first variants where this, which is a wooden name tag here on the left side of the pouch, where this wooden tag was not used, and instead there was like a U-shaped pouch here, or sort of a pocket for perhaps like a paper name tag that you would slide in there or whatever. It's like a U-shaped thing that's sewn on here. And yeah, that was that variant was produced in 1963 and 1964, and that one is by far the rarest. And yeah, it's or you can see it on a few websites, but yeah, I haven't seen it for sale myself in eBay or anywhere else. And yeah, obviously this pouch has been in use by someone called Siebeke. Hopefully my German pronounced that right, but yeah. This is where you would mark your name to let people know that this pouch is yours, since everyone has pretty much the same pouch, so it helps to know which belongs to whom. And of course the gas mask that would be carried here was the Soviet SCHSM 41, like basically the same gas mask that the Soviets used in World War II, like the rubber sock type of gas mask, which is quite ineffective already by the 1960s. But yeah, this compartment was for the gas mask helmet, or what you want to call it itself, and the filter would go in this pouch, and the filter hose would go through this loop attached to the gas mask itself. And there is this small middle pouch here, which would be for like a spare lens container, like circle container for spare lenses. You would keep it here. And then this outside wall pocket would be for the protective suit gloves, I believe. So you would have the gloves stored here. And here on the side, as I already showed, we have the side pocket, which has the toggle left, fortunately. And this is for the decontamination kit, I believe. I actually have one here, but I wonder if it's this one, because I think this is the 1968 version, or it's at least called Entgiftungspacken 68. So I wonder if there was some earlier variant, because this thing, you can shove it in this pouch, but it's a really tight fit, and kind of goes against the idea that you would, if you had to use this, it would be in quite an emergency. So trying to like fiddle it out from the side pockets sort of seems counterintuitive, but yeah, let me know if you have more information about what exact type of decontamination kit you would have here. And yeah, I was talking about those initial variants were from 1963 and 1964. In those, and this hip strap, I think, or waist strap, this like metal D-shaped ring here. On those initial variants, that was actually like a square-shaped one. I should use this older pouch as an example. So yeah, here we have the square-shaped hook loop, and this one has a D-shaped one. So yeah, if this is square-shaped, then you have an early variant in your hands. But yeah, on this Flächentarn pouch, they made the shoulder strap wider than what was on the previous olive gas mask pouch, and then this same strap design would be in use until basically the 1980s, when they were using the rubber or like vinyl pouches with the plastic parts and so on. Yeah, and behind we don't actually have, really, you can only see the sewing for the hose strap here. Yeah, I did some digging, and I dug out the bottom of the filter compartment, so the filter would sit on top of these plastic rubber pieces. And so because the filter takes air from the bottom, so when it sits on top of these, it has a small like gap here where it can take air, so you don't, well, suffocate yourself by accident. Though this seems a bit fiddly of a system, but anyway. Yeah, these things are made from some sort of plastic or rubber, and they seem actually quite seems to be in quite good condition considering they are 60 years old. But yeah, on those initial variants of this pouch from 1963 and 1964, these were actually made from wood. So yeah, that's also one distinguishing feature of those. And I've also seen that even in the variants where, like the middle variant, where these compartments are made from Flächentarn material, then still this bottom piece is made from Strichtan. So yeah, I don't know what was the story of making so, using different pieces of cloth for these pouches. So yeah, as I said, and they started to produce this pouch in 1963, and probably they produced until late 1960s. In 1968, the first model of the gray vinyl pouch came out, which still had the same like wooden toggle closing mechanism. So who knows, like maybe these were produced concurrently for a while with that model, and the use of this pouch certainly went a lot longer, or it went much further on, and you can still see pictures in late 1970s of soldiers having this on their hip. This is the canvas is like at least lightly rubberized, I think, or at least coated with something, so yeah, it's quite durable. But yeah, it just stands out against Strichtan uniforms, which were already in use in late 1960s. I actually have here a handbook of basic military knowledge, and this edition is from 1972. And here's these illustrations of the field service uniform, where you can see, the picture is a bit poor quality, but you can see that this soldier here is carrying the Flächentarn pouch, even though he's wearing a Strichtan uniform, and he actually has an earlier variant of the Strichtan magazine pouch, which has the belt loop in the back. But yeah, you can see the splotch pattern on the strap here, for example, and yeah, you can also see on the behind picture, or this other picture, you can see the wooden name tag here, clearly visible. And you can see the NBC suit here rolled, which is another item that might show up on this channel at some point. So yeah, well, hit the subscribe button so you will see when this eventually comes out, hopefully. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to say about this pouch. You can get these, as I said, from eBay, but they have never been super common, because I would presume they have been used for so long by the NVA, even when after the adoption of Flächentarn camouflage. But you can get these still for under 100 euros. But yeah, they are definitely becoming collector's items. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.